They thought our myths were fiction. Then they met what we worshipped. In a galaxy that mocked humanity's faith, one mission into forbidden space uncovered a truth older than stars. The gods we worshipped weren't myths, they were memories waiting to be found. The galaxy had always laughed at humanity's stories. To the Valor Dominion, myths were a symptom of weakness, evidence that a species feared what it could not quantify. So when the humans joined the Galactic Accord, the scholars of 1,000 worlds watched them with mild amusement. Strange creatures, they said. Violent, emotional, but interesting. And perhaps insane. In the luminous amphitheater of the Celestial Academy, Professor Tven of the Valor paced before his class, tendrils waving in exasperation. Consider the humans, he began, activating the holodisplay. Images of angels, devils, dragons, and saints shimmered in the air. An intelligent species that clings to superstition even after reaching the stars. They invented beings of infinite power, gods, they call them, and worshipped them for millennia. Laughter rippled through the alien cadets. A scaled Roland snorted. They fear invisible masters. A crystalline loather added, imagine, kneeling before fiction. The professor smirked, enjoying the humor. Indeed. Humanity's mythology is remarkable in its absurdity. Even after the fall wars, some of them still pray. From the back of the hall, a single voice broke the mirth. You mock what you don't understand. The laughter faded. All eyes turned toward the speaker, a human officer in a dark Navy uniform. Her nameplate read Commander Mara Vance, Terran Fleet Liaison. Professor Tven blinked all 6 eyes. Commander, surely you agree that these stories are symbolic, not factual. Mara's gray gaze was unreadable. I didn't say they weren't symbolic. I said you don't understand them. A week later, the Galactic Accord dispatched an exploratory fleet to investigate strange anomalies near the Perseus Expanse, an uncharted cluster where sensors failed, and entire scout ships vanished. The fleet consisted of 7 vessels, 6 alien, 1 Terran. Mara was assigned as liaison aboard the Valor flagship Spear of Logic. When the fleet entered the expanse, the stars seemed to dim. Communications faltered. The light itself felt heavy. Captain Jur, a Valor of towering height and cool precision, frowned at the readings. Commander Vance, your people once surveyed this region. Did they record any phenomena matching this? Mara looked at the static-filled data and shook her head slowly. We were told not to come here. Jur's brow ridges furrowed. By whom? Her answer was quiet. Our ancestors called this region the Choir's Grave. 3 days into the mission, one of the scout ships vanished. No explosion. No debris. Just absence. Then came the transmissions, broken voices whispering on every channel. Not language, but harmony. A resonance that made every translator's core melt. The alien officers panicked, their minds were not built for auditory chaos. But the humans aboard the Spear of Logic, they fell silent. Some knelt, as if in reverence. Jur stormed to Mara's console. Commander, what is happening? She stared at the pulsing waveform, her voice steady. They're singing. Jur's spines flattened. Who? The ones we used to pray to. Sensors detected a mass ahead, vast, luminous, alive. Not a planet, not a fleet, something older. A structure woven from light and matter, spanning an entire system. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Mara rose from her seat. That's not a structure, she said. It's a choir vessel. The captain's voice was sharp. Explain. She hesitated, as if choosing words carefully. Every faith on earth, every god, every angel, every voice that called to us, they came from this. The choir. They watched us grow, and when we stopped believing, they slept. Jur glared. Nonsense. These are energy-based entities, nothing more. You humans attach mythology to physics. Mara only smiled faintly. Maybe. Or maybe we remembered them as best we could. Without warning, the spear of logic was bathed in radiance. Power grids overloaded, shields collapsed. The crew screamed as light pierced every deck. Then the sound returned, the harmony, now clear, structured, like words sung through eternity. Mara stumbled to the viewport. Outside, the void had become a cathedral of stars. A form emerged, humanoid, vast, wings of light unfurling like nebulae. A voice filled her mind. Child of Earth. Why do you seek us again? Mara fell to her knees. We didn't seek you. They did. The being regarded the fleet, its voice echoing across space. They mock what they cannot recall. But you remember. The Valor officers convulsed, the being's presence was too immense. Jur gasped, his mind fracturing under psychic pressure. What, are you? We were what you worshipped. What you feared. What you forgot. Then, softly. And what will you become? When the light faded, the fleet drifted, half blind, half mad. 3 ships were gone. The rest limped back toward known space. Only the humans seemed untouched, calm, sorrowful, distant. Captain Jur was found catatonic, his neural pathways overloaded with incomprehensible patterns. Before the medics carried him away, he whispered one sentence. They were singing our names. Back on Dareth Prime, the council convened an emergency hearing. The recordings were analyzed, dissected, and dismissed. The Valor scientists declared it a mass hallucination caused by exposure to interdimensional resonance. The Roland priests called it a weapon of human propaganda. The Lothar simply refused to comment. Only Mara stood before them, silent, calm. Chairman Core demanded, Commander Vance, your own data shows no measurable entities. Are you claiming this? Choir was divine. She met his gaze. Define divine. That night, Mara returned to her quarters. The galaxy outside glittered like shattered glass. On her desk lay a feather, not metal, not energy. Real. White as starlight. When she touched it, warmth filled her veins, and for a heartbeat she heard them again, the voices, endless and beautiful. We never left. You just stopped listening. She closed her hand around the feather and whispered, then we'll remember. Months passed. Then came reports, fleets disappearing near forgotten sectors, worlds hearing whispers in the void, ancient ruins glowing with new life. And on every human colony, people began to dream, dreams of light, harmony, and wings that spanned galaxies. When the council asked for an explanation, Earth refused to speak. But their ships began to change, designs shifting, engines humming like voices in unison. As if something was guiding them. Years later, a deep space probe captured a message from beyond the Perseus expanse. A single, encrypted broadcast. When decoded, it contained only human words. They thought our myths were fiction. Then they met what we worshipped. And learned that faith was never ignorance. It was a memory. The transmission ended with music, no voice, no instrument. Just harmony. Infinite, eternal.